last night. Let me tell you, he was told that people last night.
Alrighty, friends. Shabbat Shalom and Good Shabbos. It is the Shabbat right after Yom Kippur. So the High Holy Days continue. The High Holy Days continue. We have Sukkot coming up Sunday night through Tuesday, and then the following week, Sunday night through Tuesday. But Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are behind us this year. Gates of prayer remain open. As I said at services on Yom Kippur, I believe that the gates of prayer remain open all year. They don't close on Yom Kippur. They don't close on Shmini Atzeret. They close never. But it is it's kind of a mixed bag here today. It was cloudy this morning, and it was bright and sunny, then it was cloudy again. It's nice, and it's a little bit chilly out there, which is nice. But regardless of the weather, it's Shabbat, and we are here together. And so I am feeling grateful for that. I have a friend here, Megan. She's going to bench lift for us this evening. And you'll find the blessing on page 2, and then the responsive reading on page 3.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We'll have a responsive reading on page 3.
Again, and the second one. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live.
Keep going.
Okay. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Thank you. Let's continue a responsive reading on page 6. Middle of page 6. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, things to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May it so that it be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
We're going to start officially welcoming Shabbat with the Kabbalat Shabbat service, the receiving, literally, of Shabbat. And we're going to jump to page 20 for some Lecha Dodi. It's about this time, if you were in Tzfat, around this time of day on a Friday at this time of year, you would start to head out to the fields, and you would be dressed in your white Shabbos clothing, and you would head out onto the Tzfat is on a hill, so you would go to the hill, the top of the hill, and you would be looking out on the Galil as the sun would set, and you would start singing, and you would recite psalms, and you would sing some more until the sun set, and then you would have the evening service. Because the mystics in Tzfat felt that you can't just jump from the work week or the regular week right into Shabbat. You need to transition in. All the more so coming out of the high holidays, especially Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you need to transition kind of into Shabbat. So top of page 20, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamu v'zachu b'dibur echad, Yishme'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habracha, Merosh mikeden mesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Mikdash melech yemelucha, Kumi tzihi mitoch hamecha, Rabla hakshevet b'yemecha b'cha, V'hu yachamol alaychem la, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Hitna arim yafar kumi, Lifshi bigdei tifarteh chami, Al yad ben ishai beit halachmi, Korva el nafshi gehala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Hitorari, Ki ba'orei kumihi ori, shir daveri, Kevod Adonai alayik nivla, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Lo tevoshi v'lo tikolmi, Mahatish tochachi matehemi, V'yechesu aniyehe ami, V'nihibnetai al tila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, V'hayu l'shimsa shohosayich, V'rahachaku kol mevalayich, Yasis alayich Elohayich, Ki himsos chatan al kala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin usmol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai ta'aritzi, Al yadish ben partzi, V'ni hismecha benagila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Bohi v'shalom ateret bala, Gaham b'simcha u'sohola, Tochem unei am segula, Bohi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Turn the page to 22, verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. We'll read the outdented paragraph together in English and then the indented in Hebrew. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with the 10-string harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadikatamar yifra, ke'erez balvanot yiskeh shetuli, bebeit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu. O Jenu Nesema, Neshenim Vera'ananim, Yihiyu Lehayim, Ki Ashar Adonai, Tzuri continue on page 24. One last song for Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming the two angels who come to spend Shabbat with us, along with the extra soul, the Yeshama Terah that we get on Shabbat. Top of page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharim, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sefer L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, we have welcomed Shabbat. Shabbat is with us. We're on page 146, the beginning of the Arvit service, the evening service for Shabbat, 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu le'olam
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 147. Let's read together the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Second blessing before Shema, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochtenu u'vkumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'yorech yameinu u'bahem nehege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla ve'ahavat techal tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta ha'et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'otecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh. Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlektecha b'derech u'v'shoktecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 151, let's read responsibly in the English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil.
Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn God's presence redeems time and death, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Top of page 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nohora tehilot, osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'amruhu. Adonai yimloch leolam moed, v'nehemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'ga'alo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, ga'al Yisrael. Top of page 153, the second bracha after the evening Shema, Hashkivenu. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. And the bottom, let's read together in English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Top of page 154, verses from the book of Shemot, from the book of Exodus. Vishamru, it's not Shabbat without Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותה ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותה ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. We are at the central prayer of the evening service, the Amidah. Pages 155, 156, and 157 we'll chant together. And then we'll go silently 158 through the end on 167, where you can finish the Amidah either in the Hebrew, the English, or by offering up your own meditative prayer at that time. So we're going to begin together on page 155. Adonai sifatai tivkach, u'v'yagid milatecha. Adonai sifatai tivkach, u'v'yagid milatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Handorah, El Elyon, Romeo Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mei Goel Ibnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, V'Yisrael Sarah. Atah Gibor Yolam Adonai, Mechayim Eitim Atarav Mahoshia, Mashif HaRuach U'Morid HaTahor, Mechalkel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechayim Eitim V'Rachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, Mechayim Emunato, Lishenei Achah, Michalocha V'Kiborot, U'Midon Melach, Melech Mimit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot Eitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMeitim. So completing our Midah, please take your time, continue at your own pace. We're on page 160 in the middle. Let's read together in English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Top of page 163, let's read responsively. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the soul of being.
All right, and we'll close out the Amidah, as always, with a prayer for peace. In the evening, it's Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise to you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We'll jump ahead to page 253, the Mishaberach for healing. If you have anyone who needs a little bit of extra healing, emotionally, physically, psychologically, any kind of healing, keep them close to your thought, keep them in your thoughts and close to your heart as we prepare for Misha B'Av. Misha B'Av Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'imahotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, Mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen.
We're going to turn ahead a little bit to the prayers for our community. Pages 258 and 259. And Maury, how about the prayer for our congregation, top of 258?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha v'yira na'avod. Dennis, the prayer for our country, please.
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. Want to finish?
Yep.
If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness.
Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim Yishlayu Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabbat Shemayim Yitzur Yisrael B'Golo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reishit Tzmichat Geulatenu Hagein Aleha B'Yavrat Chasdecha Uvros Aleha Suchat Shlomecha Ushlach Uracha V'Amitcha V'Rasheha Sareha V'Yowetzeha V'Takneim B'Eitzah Tova Milfanecha V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz V'Simchat Olam V'Yoshveha V'Nomar Amen. Mark, would you lead us in the bottom of 259?
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all people who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it in the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfill of joy all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all. All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. All right, we are almost through with the annual Torah reading. We're at Parshat Hazinu. It is the last one that we would read in synagogue on a Shabbat. Next week's Torah portion will be for Sukkot. And then the last Torah portion, this is the penultimate Torah portion. Then Bezot HaBracha is read on Simchat Torah and not ever read on Shabbat. So go figure. It's the Hazinu is the prayer or the poem that Moshe was talking about at the end of last week's Parsha. And he recites this to the people just before he ascends to Mount Nebo, where he is going to die. All right, so he is literally moments from his death. He declares to the people that God's deeds are perfect and just. God is never false. God is always true and upright. Tzaddik v'yashar hu, true and upright. He reiterates again, remember, this is not the generation that came out of Egypt. This is the generation that was born in the desert, that they need to remember their history and their special relationship with God. God is the one who took care of their ancestors and cared for them even when they turned away. God could have wiped them out many times because of their disloyalty, but God didn't. And it's an interesting reason. Moshe gives the reason that God didn't wipe them out because God didn't want their enemies to think that they brought it on themselves, meaning that Bnei Yisrael brought this punishment onto themselves, and that it was not that they did something wrong, and that this was not punishment, and that the enemies of Israel could also not take credit for destroying them. So Moshe has God, kind of a very human God at this time. He reminds them that it is God who constantly saves Israel from destruction. And he says that God says, Ani amit ve'echayeh, right? I deal death and I give life. So God is in charge. He assures them that God will bring vengeance upon their enemies, right? Those who might have attacked them, those who are the enemies in general, God will bring vengeance. And then Moshe then tells them to take the Torah to heart. Now, this is an interesting thing. The idea of the heart in the biblical period was not the seat of emotion, but that was where the intellect resided. So Moshe is saying, take it to heart, learn it, think about it, put it into practice. Teach it to your children. Teach it to other people's children, and make it your very, very life. As he closes out his poem, Moshe is then told to climb Mount Nebo, where he will die. And so we have Moshe ending his speeches really with a beautiful poem filled with vivid imagery. And it's meant to give Israel hope in times of despair. And so I do think that we can read this poem at any time and gain some sort of hope and strength from it. Moshe's last words to the children of Israel. So this is your Torah portion in a nutshell, Parashat Hazinu. Well, we have survived. We made it through. I don't know if we survived, but we made it through the 3 big days of the early part of the year. Right? We're still in the days of awe and wonder. That's all the way through Sukkot. Right? But it's not just the last week or the last 2 weeks. It's been about 7 weeks, right? We've had the month of Elul, we've had Rosh Hashanah, we've had Yom Kippur. It's been very, very intense, and it has given us a lot to think about. But, Thursday, Yom Kippur was over, and we've moved back onto our life. We move on, and our lives become predictable once again. Habit pervades. We do the stuff that we always do. We fall into the ruts. Same old, same old. But children have the secret to life. They don't know it. They don't know it, and we don't realize it until we're not children anymore. For children, life is magical. There is always something new to discover, something new to learn, and they revel in that. If you watch children playing, there's such joy in their playing, there's such joy in their imagination. When they discover something for the first time, the world lights up for them, and the world lights up because of them. Adults, not so much. We get jaded. It gets harder as we get older to have that sense of awe. The first time we see something, or if we're playing, or if we're standing by the sandbox and all of a sudden a frog jumps out, right? If you watch children, they get so excited and they love it, and adults are like, that's a frog. Yeah, but it's a frog, and it was in the sandbox. What was it doing there? And the children love that kind of stuff. Watch children in a rain shower, right? I get angry if I'm getting rained on. Children, they love it. I get frustrated when I have to walk through puddles. There's not a child who will let a puddle untouched when they're walking down the street, and just joyous abandon, jumping in and just celebrating life. Adults, we don't do that. But this is why I like watching children play. It transports me, makes me remember when I was a child. And adults need to get that sense of awe back. It's there, but we get jaded, we get bored. It's like, yeah, the sun came up today. Yeah, but did you watch it come up? Did you see the sky change colors? Did you see, it's a sunrise. It's the same with the sunset. Those are moments of awe if we are awake for them. Now adults have bucket lists, right? This is where I'm going to get my awe. This is where I'm going to get my wonder. Yeah, but those are big ticket things. Skydiving. All right, so you go skydiving, and then when you're sitting with your friends, you say, oh, yeah, I went skydiving. Yeah, nothing to it. I went scuba diving. Yeah, nothing to it. I was 150 feet down. There were tropical fish all over the place. First time I went scuba diving was for my open water certification. That wasn't the first time, but the first time we were in open water, and it was off of Long Island Sound, and it was Thanksgiving weekend, which means it was cold outside. And here we are, all of us going down to Beach 9th Street to get our open water certification. And I get into the ocean, and we only went down about 40 feet. And I'm looking, and there are tropical fish. And I thought maybe I had the wrong tank, that I had some nitrous going on, that I was seeing things, because on Long Island Sound in the Atlantic, or off of Long Island in the Atlantic, you're not supposed to see tropical fish. But I saw them, and I went back up to the top, at the surface, and my instructor came right up with me because he thought something was wrong. Like, I just saw tropical fish. He said, yeah. I said, are you sure? He's like, yes, the Gulf Stream comes up this way, and some of those tropical fish get swept in here, and you'll see people out here catching them for pet stores. He said, so yes, you are not high, you are not breathing the wrong kind of gas. You did see tropical fish in the North Atlantic on November 23rd. So then I went back down and had a blast down there. But that was a moment of awe, right? When you see something that you don't expect to see, or something that's there that you've never seen before, that is it. So bucket lists, not enough. We've got to find awe and wonder in daily things. Abraham Joshua Heschel said, quote, our goal should be to live life in radical amazement. And that was one of his famous phrases, radical amazement, that we should walk around being constantly amazed at what we see. I saw a hummingbird the other day, made me smile, made my little heart joyful for a moment, because I love hummingbirds. And apparently they're all around here. I've seen praying mantises, and we have a conversation. But Heschel says, radical amazement, to get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is incredible. Never treat life casually. To be spiritual is to be amazed. Could you imagine if we went through life looking for things to amaze us, rather than for things to be, yeah, it's the same old. Yeah, I'm in a car. Yeah, I walked through the park. Yeah, I jogged today. Find the sense of amazement. Find something to latch onto. One of the things that I suggest is do something new each day. It doesn't have to be a big ticket item, right? You don't have to, there's no rule that says we have to follow the same rituals in our lives. New activities will show us how life can be lived. Change things up. The high holidays have opened the doors for us. It was all about change. It was about tshuva. It was about returning to the right path, but that path of amazement, that path of awe. And it doesn't need to be huge. You don't have to say, I'm going to keep kosher. Great, go, do it. But it could be just as much as trying a new flavor of tea or coffee. It could be reading a new author. It could be walking home a different way, driving home a different way. Something to shake things up, to make you aware of what's out there. Being open to new things, to new possibilities, especially right after the high holidays, especially right after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. This leads to those amazing moments that we take for granted. And I'll tell you something that we all can do, and it's very, very easy. During the afternoon service, Cantor Beth was chanting the Adonai Sifatai for the afternoon Amidah. I looked down and saw one of the English readings, one of the comments, one of the more creative readings, and it was for the standing before God. And it comes from a person named Louise Sturp Gill. And she says, I am always in awe at the sight and sound of our sacred community on the high holidays. For example, when we all stand or all sit down and I hear the sound of each seat. When I hear the sounds of the seat, I feel a rush of emotion, both excitement that everyone is together praying and sadness when I think that most of the people don't realize that they could have this feeling every Shabbat. So this is what I suggest. You want to stir things up? You want to keep that feeling of awe that you have in the high holidays, that feeling of community throughout the rest of the year? Start coming to Shabbat services. Come and see us on Friday nights. Come and see us on Shabbat mornings. Come and see us on Sunday mornings. It doesn't have to be Shabbat. We could turn Sunday morning into a high holiday-like feeling with community. That's the meaning of the high holidays. It's community. And it's not just meant to be once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year during the high holidays. It's meant to be every Shabbat. You can have the exact same feelings on Shabbat that you had with the high holidays, being surrounded by friends, by loved ones. You just have to show up. You just have to come here. So, we've got our marching orders. All right, start tomorrow. Start tonight. Do something different tonight. Do something new. Experience awe and wonder once again. You'll be glad you did. Shabbat shalom and good
Shabbat
Shabbos.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Maury,
Kadoosh.
it's Kiddush time. Yes,
Shikha
it is.
time.
It is Kiddush time. Ooh. Vayher vayivoker yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz, v'chol tzivam, vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi, melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi, mikol melachto asher asa, vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi, Vayikadesh oto, Kivo Shabbat mikol melachto, Asher bara Elohim laso. Savri, Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzevanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahavat u'ratzon imchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit Yehu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher etziat Mitzrayim Kivanu bacharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'avim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. All right, we'll start closing out our Friday evening Shabbat services. We will turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula liyotzeh reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'monam, v'anachnu korim, Umishpachavim umodim, Livnei melech, Malchei hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, Umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ivo, Ushli natuso, Hikohe mehemohin, Eloheinu, 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 Epesilato, Kagatu, Vitorato, Viadat Hayom, Vehashemota, Elimam Echad, Ki Adonai hu Elohim, Vashamayim Nidna, Yaharetz, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, Ushemo Echad. All right, we are still in the period of the high holidays, and we still have Psalm 27. Beautiful psalm, quite possibly my favorite psalm of the whole 150. And so we'll read this responsibly. Of David, Adonai is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. Whom should I dread?
When evildoers draw near to me to devour my flesh, when my foes and enemies threaten, they trip and they fall.
Though armies besiege me, my heart shall not fear. Though war beset me, still do I trust.
One thing do I ask of Adonai, it is that this I seek, to dwell in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, to behold Adonai's sweetness, and to gaze on God's power.
God hides me in God's shelter safe. God hides me in God's shelter on the day of evil, conceals me in the recesses of God's tent. On a rock, God raises me up.
Now my head rises over my enemies around me.
Let me offer God's sacrifices with joy and shout. Let me sing an hymn to Adonai.
Hear, O Lord, my voice when I call, and grant me peace and answer me.
Of you my heart said, seek my face. Your face, Lord, I do seek.
Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in wrath. You are my help. Abandon me not, nor forsake me, O God of my rescue.
Though my father and mother forsake me, but I
My word will gather me in.
Teach me, O Lord, your way, and lead me on a level path because of my adversaries.
Do not subject me to the will of my foes, or false witnesses rise against me. Breathers of violence.
Had I not the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living?
Hope for the Lord, let your heart be firm and bold, and hope for the Lord.
Luhulehem antilero k'tuv be'eretz chaim, kaveh el Adonai, chazak b'yamei tzlipecha, v'kaveh el Adonai. We continue observing Shloshim for Victor Krupman. This week we observe the following yard sites. Joe Cohen, David and Billy Glick's uncle, David's mother's brother. Maxine Alkier, David Glick's mother-in-law, Karen's mother. Ferdinand Fichtelberger, relative of David Field. Hannah Fichtelberger, relative of David Field. Hedwig Heyman, relative of David Field. Moritz Heyman, relative of David Field. Ida Strauss, Harold's wife. Beth Penn's mother, Matt and Lee Colker's aunt. Anna D. Kaplan, wife of Harold. Mickey Radow's mother, Judy Woodruff's grandmother. Bertha Mann, relative of Elaine Skoll. Ruth Mendel Shradsky, wife of Harold. Bernice, mother of Bernice and Marjorie. Bella Weingartner, mother of Hedva Hess, Rachel Paderewski, friend of Valerie White, Sarah Kaplan Cohen, mother of David, Jimmy, and Saul Cohen, Edith and Sylvia. Shirley G. Friedman, wife of Harold Friedman. Cy Mazo, husband of Gloria, father of Rennie, Mark, Scott, Bruce. David Field, son of Bill and Inga. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all. May they always rest in peace.
Amen.
Mourner's Cottage, page 294. Yit Gadol, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabah, Be'alman, Yivrach, V'retei, Yomlik, Malchutei, V'chayei Chol, V'yomei Chol, V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, V'adalah, V'zman, Karim, Yimra, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabah, V'rach, Le'lam, V'mei Maya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh, Yithadar, Yitoleh, Yithalal, Shmei, Kisha, Riku, Le'elam, Yinkol, Birchata, Shirata, Tushbachata, V'nechamata, La'amiram, Ve'alma, V'yehu, Amen. Yehei Shlama, Rabban, Yin Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yivru, Amen. V'oseh Shalom, V'yimah, V'yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yivru, Amen. All right, friends, just a couple of quick announcements before we head out into this nice Shabbat evening. Services tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and we have Dr. Tam Murphy. She's going to give us the drosh. She's going to talk tomorrow, give me a day of rest, one less thing that I had to write this week. So she is going to deliver the drosh tomorrow. So please come by and see us, or at the very least, tune in. Sunday morning then at 9 a.m. we'll have our Sunday morning minyan. And then it is Sukkot. It'll be Erev Sukkot Sunday night. And we'll have services right here in the chapel Monday and Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. And so come and shake the lulav on Monday and Tuesday. No adult ed, obviously, this week. I'm not 100% sure about the Yiddish choir, but I have a hankering that they will be meeting. Thursday from 4 to 5:30. If you don't get a chance to come to the synagogue for first or second day Sukkot services, I'm going to be here. We'll be in the backyard in the sukkah, and you can come by and fulfill the obligation or the mitzvah of shaking the lulav and etrog and dwelling in the sukkah. So you get a whole bunch of mitzvot just by showing up for a couple of minutes Thursday afternoon, 4 to 5:30. And then we'll be back for Shabbat services next Friday. So again, a kind of a busy week, but Sukkot is one of those joyful holidays. It's just some davening. It's getting back to our pagan roots, right? With the lulav and the etrog, right? What kind of religion, takes a lemon and a piece of palm and turns it into a beautiful, beautiful ritual. So that's that for the week. And this is the first Shabbat of the month, and that is birthday and anniversary Shabbat. So the October birthdays are Tori Witcher, John Rosenberg, whose birthday was just on the 5th, so that would have been Yom Kippur, an auspicious day for a birthday. Micah Pressman, this guy, Maury Hartz. I'm not sure I know this guy, but he seems, there he is, he's here. Mark Brodoff, Mary Shapiro, Dr. James Egel, and Regina Levine all have birthdays in October. So many blessings and many more happy and healthy. And the anniversaries. We have, let's see here, the Scars. On October 13th, that's number 32. Wonderful. The Jacobsons have an anniversary coming up. The Johnsons have an anniversary coming up. And these Lenses, John and who's he married to? He's married to somebody we know. John is married to somebody, I don't know. No, it's our own president. Judy has an anniversary coming up. but that's at the end of the month, but we're going to celebrate now. So, Maury and Judy, come on up here. It's time for a sweet.
We always like to hear this. Diet Buster.
It's a diet buster. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we have a Hershey's bar,
Thank you.
and it's a full-size one. And
Yes, it is. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's none of this half stuff for you guys. No. And the appropriate blessing for a birthday or an anniversary is the Shechianu. Shechianu is said when you want something to repeat over and over and over again. So we hope for many more birthdays for Maury, many more happy anniversaries for Judy and John. And we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Mazal only blessings and good things. Many blessings and good things.
Thank you.
And see, when you come to services and it's your birthday or anniversary,
You
you get candy. Come on, just come on down.
Just doesn't get any better.
It does not get any better. And it's great when people are here to celebrate with us and we can celebrate with them. And notice I didn't say how old people were. Although I have a feeling that John Rosenberg won't mind that I say that he just celebrated, it looks like his 91st birthday.
Wow, that's about right.
That's about right. Maury's keeping track for us. That's about right. And John, many, many happy and more and healthy. And John makes me tired just watching him and all that he does. So he's hard worker and a true mensch. So everybody who's had a birthday, if you weren't here, still happy birthday, happy anniversary. And November is on its way. So we'll do this again in November. All right. Adon Olam, page 321. Adon Olam Hashem Hava, B'terem kol yitzir nivra, Li'eknasa b'chefzo kol, Azai melech shemo nikra, B'yacharei kichlot hakol, Levado imloch nohara, V'hu haya v'hu hoveh, V'hu yiyeh b'tifara, V'hu echad v'ein sheni, L'hamshilo l'hachbira, V'li reshit v'li tachlit, V'lo ha'oz v'hamisra, V'hu eli v'chai go'ali, V'tzur hedli v'yehitzara, V'hu nisi umanos li, Menad kosi biyom hekra, Biyahado apid ruchi, B'yeti shan b'yahayira, V'im ruchi g'biyati, Adonai li v'Elohim. All right, well, we have some people who are saying hello to us via the interwebs. Let's see who says hello this evening. ML Glazer and Herman, there they are. Wish all a good first Shabbat for 5783. Thank you to the Glazers and same to you. There's Mom. Shabbat Shalom. Tell from Rabbis Mom and Cliff. Thanks, Mom and Cliff. Also, our wishes to all for a healthy and peaceful year. Amen to that. David Johnson says a good Shabbat, a good year. Thank you, David. Same to you. All right, friends. Shabbat, good Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. Come see us.
Bring food.
Bring food. Bring food. We'll have food, but come see us, and we'll recreate the feeling of the high holidays every Shabbos. Hope to see you all soon. Be careful out there.
Amen.